I am Lillian Groag. I'm the director of Don Giovanni, and this is my 24th show in Virginia Opera. Well, if I tell you, it won't be a surprise, so I won't tell you about the surprises. But the set is non-realistic. It's just sliding panels with arches that just change the depending on where they land, they change the look of the set. So the set is very abstract, but with visuals that will remind you of an era, possibly Renaissance. The costumes are all 17th century costumes rather than 18th. The last time we did it, we used 18th century costumes, and the set would be actually the costumes this year are 17th century costumes, and they're very beautiful. And there's a lot of room because it's not a realistic opera. People who think that that's any one of the three Mozart da Ponte operas, except maybe Marriage of Figaro is the most realistic one. They're not. They're commedia dell'arte shows. They're clown shows, and the plot lines are the same as they were in the 1600s when the clowns did those little commedia shows. So that Don Giovanni was the original mask for Don Giovanni. The clown was Il Capitano, who was very boastful and very, much of a ladies' man. His servant was Arlecchino, who is our Leporello. There's Colombina, Arlecchino, Pagliaccio, all the Pantalone, all those characters are in the old comedy. So, and the plot is the same. The guy comes to town and he just seduces all the girls. And the town gets a hold of it and they make sure that he goes to hell. But Mozart and da Ponte, being the geniuses they were, they take that simple little story. It's a clown story. It's very funny. And they turn it into something else where you eventually don't know who's the bad guy, who's the good guy. Is he really all that bad? Are they all really all that good? Because by the end of the opera, when he goes to hell finally, all the women still want him and all the men want to be him. So it's a great writing, isn't it? It's great, great, great writing. It's complicated, complex. It makes the audience complicit. It makes everybody wonder about their own personal morality, really. But it is tremendously funny. I seldom see it done that way, but all three Mozart da Ponte operas start as a farce. I mean, really, fall down on the floor, farce, slapstick, all of that. And somewhere in the middle of part two, it is usually on the soprano aria, they turn into something that is not quite so funny. And I find that just kind of great writing. Shakespeare used it all the time, to turn on your audience. Oh, you think that's funny, do you? Well, watch this. So it's fun. Yes, to the memory of Dmitri Forostovsky, whom we lost last year, much too young, a wonderful Don Giovanni, a great, great, great artist. People at the Met saw him a million times. Chicago Lyric, San Francisco, Houston. And he did Don Giovanni, I believe in San Francisco and Houston as well as at the Met. Eventually he left the role to become a Verdian baritone, but he was spectacular. We lost him too soon, and by the time we open, it'll be a year, an anniversary of a year. And he's got a lot of fans in Virginia, understandably so. So yeah, we're all dedicating it to him. They're lovely. They're young. They're beautiful. They're full of goodwill, and it's very difficult to do what I'm asking them to do because it is a tumble show. It's slapstick. The Arlecchino and the old commedia shows in the Renaissance used to carry a slapstick, which was the thing that you pretended to hit people with. It went like that. And from the word slapstick comes the word shtick, which is very seldom really respected in this country. We think that that's easy, It's not. It's really hard to do. And they're doing all of that. They're tumbling and falling and running and chasing and singing at the same time. So they're lovely, and they're very willing to do. There's nothing they won't do. So I love them. because it's so complex and certainly because the music, first of all, the music is irresistible. But music, to me, music and drama, if it's not music and drama into one, that's not opera. I can stay home and play CDs all day if I don't want to see it happening. Why would I do that? It's funny, it's troubling, it's very troubling. I could very easily make it into an issue production because of what's been going on in the news lately, but I think that's a cop-out. And also, I don't do issue operas. They can do that elsewhere. I don't think Così is any more misogynist than anything else. I don't think Carmen should suddenly, kill Don Jose at the end. I mean, no, not for me. It can be done elsewhere. But it is very troubling, and it doesn't let anybody off the hook. So whether you know it or not, and people sometimes, that's why it's so important that it's funny. If it's very funny in the beginning, then when people laugh, they open up. And when they open up, you can sucker punch them with the serious stuff. So that's why, and you never, unless you really have a catastrophic production, I don't know, for whatever reason, it is, and they can be if you don't work, if you don't work them very hard, it can be boring. Any opera can be very boring unless you really rehearse it and work it. But it's irresistible. And if you have a Giovanni that will seduce the audience as well as everybody on stage, then you truly can't resist it. And he's got the most beautiful tunes to sing in the world. And it's all recognizable music. People don't know they know it, but they hear it and they go, oh, that's what that's from. And so, yeah, it's really, 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 I always forget how good it is until I do it again.